Bonina.
I am Nina Bonina, Banana for Anna Osama bin Laden Brown. And I want to thank you guys for watching Jamar's 84 YouTube channel. He only has 5 followers, so thank y'all for following him.
What's going on YouTube?
Jamar,
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is boy, Jamar here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar here once again. I know it's been a while since I've been here. I didn't get to do last week's episode because, as many of you may have known, I did get a chance to attend DragCon this year. If you guys were following me on my Snapchat, which you should have already been doing, you would have seen, a lot of the panel, a lot of the pictures I took with the queens, lots of other fabulous things. Oh, excuse me. And because I was there, I managed to just kind of catch the episode in passing. And it was great. I don't feel the need to do another episode on it because another review on it because it was so late already. And I was already just in California, over in LA, just doing a lot already. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about this particular episode. And because I wanted to, I was still gonna recap the episode, but there's like an overall issue that erupted after this episode went over that I want to make sure I discuss as well. And I don't want this to be very long, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the highlights for me. And one of the highlights actually began at the very beginning of the episode. Of course, they're talking about Cynthia leaving. Trinity says that she's the new cuckoo of the group. I'm like, oh, girl. And, I feel like I do like Trinity now. And Trinity's actually going to be here tomorrow, now that I think about it. And I got to meet her at DragCon as well. So she's, lovely person. Lovely, lovely. Now, so they're all, getting out of their, their costume, they're de-dragging and things of that nature. And Valentina, Valentina was basically naked with these two black strips over her top and her bottom half. And it was Trinity that was helping her take off that top half. And I don't know what kind of adhesive she was using. But apparently, I don't know if it was pulling out like nipple hairs or whatever, but she was pulling that stuff off, and Valentina was like, ah! That was funny. I enjoyed that. That was very light, a way to start out the episode. So, something I've noticed in this season of RuPaul in particularly is that it seems like instead of mini challenges, when it comes to acting challenges, when people have to be assigned different things by one person, it seems like instead of doing a mini challenge to decide that, they're just saying, oh, since you were the survivor of the last lip sync, you get to choose the parts. So I'm like, okay, do y'all just not want to do a mini challenge? Do you not have any ideas of what you want to do as a mini challenge? You did that one mini challenge that one time, and we're on like, what episode, 7? 6, 7? What episode are we on? We're on 7. This was 7 this week. So, why? I don't know. There's been so many articles and debates about this particular season of RuPaul that we don't even want to get into that. But yeah, I thought that was very kind of strange. So, since Peppermint won, well, the lip sync last week, she gets to assign the parts for this 90210 parody for the 90210 Beverly Hills show way back in the 90s. So instead, I guess she didn't want to do the... Wait, let me swipe that up a little bit. Since she didn't want to take the Alexis route and kind of assign parts and... Wait, was that Alexis that did that? Yeah, it was Alexis that did that with the whole Black China incident. Speaking of Black China, if y'all have not gone on to Nina Bonina Brown's YouTube channel and looked at her... looked at whatever that song or whatever that was that she just happened to do out of boredom called I Should Have Been Black China. Y'all need to go check that out because that was hilarious. Hilarious. Anyways, Peppermint just basically said, look, who do y'all want to be? And I guess they said, I either want to be this person or this person. I think Alexis and Aja both wanted to be two of the same people. And so eventually Peppermint was just like, okay, well, I'm assigning this person this and this person that. And Aja had a BF. You know, if you've seen White Chicks, you know what a BF is. Um, Aja had a BF, and she was feeling some type of way. Like, I don't want this role. I don't want to do this. I said I want to be this bitchy character or whatever. And Shea Coulee, being the mature one, was just like, okay, well, if you're gonna do this, then I'll just switch characters. You can have my character, because apparently Peppermint tried to give Aja like the older student who was supposed to be pregnant, who didn't know she was pregnant, and Shea Coulee was supposed to take the bitchy role or the mean girl, whatever you want to call her. And Aja said, "Well, I don't want to be the old one. I wanted to be the bitchy role. That's the one that I add. That's the one that I kind of asked for." And blah blah blah. I'm just like, okay, but the point is for it to be a challenge. The challenge is for you to do something that you may not normally do. So either way it goes, Shay was like, "Look, if it's gonna be this whole thing," because she was really upset. Like, Aja, your age is showing, because I know Aja's only 22. Well, 22 at the time of filming. I'm sure she may have had a birthday by now. But she's only 22. Her and Farrah, both babies. So, I'm like, your age is showing right now. So Shay was just like, you know what? We'll just switch parts. If you want the part so bad, I'll take the old lady part. You can have the bitchy part so that you can basically stop having this, this fit that you're trying to throw. I'm just like, I don't know. Thank you, Shay, because actually, I don't know if that was calculated or not, but that ended up working out in Shay's favor. We'll talk about that later. So they get to doing the practice rounds for this, and they're running through the rehearsal. And Nina mentioned this on a live earlier today, where she felt like the guest judges, who were, I guess, originals from the 90210 series, they were trying to tell her how to say a line, and she felt like they were trying to tell her to not sound urban, I guess. They were trying to make her, she was saying the line. To me, it sounded like she was saying the line, but it almost just sounded like they wanted her to say it in a certain way, and Nina took it like, I don't want you to say it like a black person. That's how she felt. You can kind of sense that in the room. And she didn't want to necessarily give it like that Valley Girl accent either, to be stereotypical and potentially offensive. So, I mean, I didn't really see what was so wrong with it. Like, I mean, of course you could possibly, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's always multiple ways you could say a line, but it just didn't seem like their points, maybe what they were saying wasn't coming across. Maybe what they were trying to get her to do, they were using the right words. Because I was kind of with Nina. I'm about to say she said it. It's not like she didn't know what the line was. And when you're trying to tell her how to say it, there really wasn't much of a difference between what you were telling her to say and what she was actually saying. Now, the only thing I guess I will say against Nina is that Nina talks very fast. Okay, Nina can run a mile a minute with a sentence. And if that was the case, you should have just told her to just slow down her line instead of trying to tell her to say it in a certain way, because that could come off, the wrong way. And I think that's what she felt, and they felt it too, because they felt like she was gonna kill her. So that was interesting. And what I found interesting was that when they were trying to rehearse with Nina, Farrah's on the other side of the room, like, our malts are melting because they're wasting so much time trying to get Nina to get her lines right. Then when they finish with her, they move over to Farrah and Trinity's group, or not Trinity, but when the scene with Farrah and Valentina, she couldn't get her lines right. I'm like, see, karma works in mysterious ways. Sometimes it's not immediate. Sometimes it takes a long time. But in this case, this is immediate. While you was over there talking stuff about Nina getting her lines right, you ain't even got your own right. So that means that you need to be paying attention to what you doing and not Miss Nina Bonina Brown. Anyways, so, but this whole, when we get to the actual show, well, let me not get to the actual show yet. We're going to get to, we have workroom banter. They have to have the workroom banter. Trinity discussed that they were talking about, different experiences that they had in high school. And Trinity mentioned that she didn't get to, enjoy the last 2 years, junior and senior years, which are really like the pinnacle of high school. where you do the most and you have like the most memories, she had to drop out because her grandmother was very sick. She didn't get to get. She wasn't raised by her parents. She was raised by her grandparents. Her mother ended up having to pass away due to complications with HIV, and her grandmother at the time was very sick. So she chose to, leave out of school to take care of her grandmother. And so she didn't get to enjoy prom or senior trips or anything of that nature, which is sad because those are definitely like key memories in any person's life. Like most times they'll remember their prom, they'll remember like a class trip or something like that. So it is unfortunate that she didn't get to have that experience. And also just to lose your mother at such a young age. Like I can't imagine. I think she said she was 8 when her mother passed away, and then her grandmother, I think she passed away when he was like, what, 17 or 18, somewhere around that age. So, more props to Trinity for being a strong individual, because I know if I was that young and I had to take that kind of loss, I don't know if I could have done it. So props to Trinity. Um, let's talk about the runway. And I have the pictures up of the runway. And the runway theme was big hair. And the ones that stood out the most to me was Valentina. I love that color of green on her and that big, flory, Diana Ross inspired hair. It looked really, really good. I loved Farrah's. Trinity's was. Did Trinity wear the same wig for her hometown look? Or was it just. Did she just add to it? Because I swear, if I want to go back. Well, I'm not going to go back because that's way too far. But I feel like this is I feel like it's the same wig. She may have just added more hair to it because it looks similar. Peppermint. Peppermint was good. It was big. It was alright. And it wasn't pink. That was the best part about it. It wasn't pink. Shea Coulee. I love that outfit. Her hair was almost like a Victorian. You know how they used to have in the white wigs? That's almost like the style it was giving, like pent up but really curly in the back. Let's see. Alexis Michelle. Now I know I'm not the biggest fan of Alexis Michelle right now. But I did like this look. It was very different, very gothy, very like vampire. It was really, really nice. I like the little acrylic tears. I like that. I like that little touch. It gave me something else than just typical, pretty face. Aja looked good this week. I can't remember what it is she's remind me of. I want to say, is it like a Victorian queen whose hair is like in that shape? It's somebody who I can't get the name. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't get it. But I never cared much for queens who have this thing around their waist and it kind of drapes over. I never cared for that. I've seen one of our local queens sport that kind of look a couple of times. Something about it looks cheap. I don't know why, but when I see that, I don't like it. And I can't explain why. But her makeup and her hair, I think, were really, really nice. And of course, Miss Nina Bonina Brown came out looking like the Lion King too. I've actually seen her wear this look on her YouTube channel once before, and she's sporting like the Tina Turner rock hair. But look at that makeup job. Utterly amazing. Utterly amazing. Did I miss anybody? I don't think there's anybody who wait. I was trying to save her for last. I think my favorite this week was actually Sasha, because I felt like she took the challenge and kind of made it her own. And it's big hair, but she still kind of kept it in the Sasha Velour aesthetic, and I loved it. She had like the long rat tail in the back. Really good, really, really good. I really love that. So after that, we can go ahead and get into the actual performance itself. Now, acting challenges are always awkward. They're always weird. They're never going to be, Oscar worthy. But I feel like as long as you can make us laugh, you did a good job. And of the actor, I really don't think Nina did that bad as they made it seem. At least in the final product, it didn't seem like she really did that bad. I feel like she played her. I knew what character she was. I understood where her character was coming from, and I would say it was safe. I'm not gonna say she would have won, but I definitely don't feel like she should have, been one at the bottom. Peppermint was meh. Aja, you could tell that it felt forced a little bit, or she just didn't really not quite know how to characterize her character that well, and it was kind of odd. I don't, and usually that kind of a role, the mean girl, is usually like the one of the easiest things to be as a drag queen. Most drag queens are usually seen as mean people, and so being a mean girl, you would think would be relatively simple, or at least you could play one. You know, there was a scene where Aja and Peppermint were supposed to kiss at first, and they just kind of like mimed it at first, and the judges were like, "No, like we need to believe that y'all are actually trying to make out." And they was like, "Oh, okay, we can do that." And I feel like Peppermint had a whole totally different idea than Asha did. Because I guess Peppermint was just gonna do like, regular lip to lip, but no, Aja went in. Aja went to tongue. She went there. Okay, she. Peppermint was like, "We're gonna have to get married after this." I was just like, "Oh Lord." I mean, if you're gonna do it, go all the way, right? So, let's see. Other than that, Trinity I felt did very well. Trinity played like the mom. I wish I was more familiar with the show. Then maybe I'd understand or have better references of the show. I believe my favorites from the performance was definitely Trinity. Shea Coulee played that part up so well. I believe Shay's just funny. Shay's just great at what she does. And surprisingly, even though she got critiqued for this, I felt like Sasha Velour did very well too. I laughed a few times. I cackled, and they tried to say some of her jokes didn't land. They landed to me. I got it. It made sense to me. So maybe I'm just easily impressed. I'm not sure, but I really enjoyed Sasha's character. I really enjoyed Trinity's character. Oh, sorry. Was Trinity the one in the back when they was like doing the dancing scene? Was she the one being swung back and forth by the big crew? Let's see. Was anybody else that I was trying to remember? Oh, Valentina. Valentina was pretty much playing herself. Let's be honest. Valentina was playing herself relatively. I don't know about the whole virgin part, but yeah, that played to her strength. And when she was on the floor drinking and being drunk, it's like, "Somebody take my virginity." Brilliant acting. I was thoroughly entertained by Valentina's character throughout the whole show. And I guess we can go ahead and get to the lip sync. Everybody was, well, I'm gonna say everybody, but I thought they were gonna actually give like a three-way win between Valentina, Trinity, and Shea Coulee, but they ended up giving the win to Trinity. I thought they may have really given it to Val. I thought that was gonna be Valentina's in the bag, or even Shea Coulee. It really could have went to any of the three because they were the three standouts of the performance. So any of the three would have made sense. So now Trinity and Shea Coulee are in the lead because they have 2 wins under their belt. So everybody's safe, and then the bottom 3 are Sasha, Nina, and Aja. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what's about to happen here, and I'm afraid. And then it says Sasha was safe. So now the bottom 2 is Nina Bonina Brown and Aja. Now at this moment, I am crapping my pants because, of course, I'm a big fan. Like Nina is a friend of mine. Nina has become a close friend of mine. That's my good sis. I'm sure she showed her in the beginning of this video. And she's like the only queen that I knew that was following before the show. So, and I'm a big fan of her drag. I'm a big fan of her whole aesthetic. So I've been cheering her on this whole time. And to see her in the bottom is just like, uh-oh. And then up against Aja. Now, y'all know Aja can lip sync. Aja will give you a performance. Okay? She will spin, dip, kick, split, all of that. So I'm like, uh-oh. How is this about to go? And they did that Finally song, that Finally. Yeah, that. And I was like, okay, I don't know how this is about to go. And as they were lip syncing, they kind of gave each other equal camera time. Aja was giving her thing. Nina was, shaking her titties into the camera. and they actually like one part they was kind of like in sync doing choreography with each other. I'm like, oh, okay, I like this. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, I feel like they should both stay because they're both really doing very well in lip sync. I didn't feel like it was one way or another, but I'm thinking like, oh, Ozzy jumped and fell into a split. Nina started doing her little duck walk. I was like, I'm scared. I'm scared. I know what's gonna happen. So, in the end, Nina was told she could stay, and Aja had to sashay away. And I was a little bit shocked, only because Aja is known to be a lip sync assassin. Mind you, she did take out Kimura, but it doesn't really take a lot to take out Kimura. But she took Kimura out, but I was like, okay, anybody else that goes against Aja is probably going to be in trouble. And I was like, oh my God, Miss Nina doesn't do like the splits and, dips and things of that nature. So I'm like, what's about to happen? What's about to happen? But she pulled it. She really did turn it out. I really did enjoy the show. So I did not see Aja going home this soon. I really didn't. But it's crazy because we thought Aja was going to be the winner. At least most of the predictions, if y'all see on YouTube, like if you go to the predictions after Meet the Queens, like in the month of February, after they were announced, most of those say that Aja is going to be the winner, or at least in the top 3. And so to see her go so soon is like, wow, like we really don't know anything. This show can go any way. You just never know. But that's the fun part, is that you just don't know how the show is going to end. And that leads me to the discussion or the thing that I've noticed, actually roughly right before I turn this camera on, is that here's the thing. First of all, y'all know that the show is widely popular. Y'all know that in the age of social media, people love to talk about the show, on their accounts, amongst social media and everywhere. So if you know that you do not like spoilers and you want to watch the episode and be surprised, then it's probably in your best interest not to go on to social media after what time that the show is airing, because you're going to probably end up seeing something that's going to spoil it for you. And I don't understand why people go and talk about, oh my God, like, by the way, thanks for the spoiler and blah, blah, blah. You know that the show aired. You know that people are going to talk about the show. And if you know that, do you think that everybody's just going to wait? The whole world is just going to wait for you to watch the show so that it wouldn't be spoiled. It's your responsibility to do that. Apparently people have been attacking Nina because, of course, Aja's been this fan favorite and this, that, and the fourth. And I mistakenly went into the comments to see what these people were saying and why they were saying it. People are like, oh, you should have lost. Oh, Aja should have won. People started getting really racist, talking about going back to Africa and this, that, and the fourth, and spoiler, this. Okay. We're going to have to just really be honest here. Let's be completely and totally honest. In terms of performance in the show, Aja has done nothing. Honestly. She hasn't won anything. She's already been in the bottom. None of her runways have really been all that great. As opposed to Nina won the Miss Charisma, Uniqueness, Nerve, and Talent pageant and really hasn't had a bad runway yet. So, I mean, how can you say she deserves to win or she didn't deserve to win the lip sync? Well, they were both really good, but just Nina has been outperforming Aja the whole time. So it is what it is. And my thing is, why are y'all so invested in these queens where you feel you need to attack another queen just because they want to lip sync? Because let me tell you something. Seasons 5, 6, or 7, all those lip syncs when they were airing, I'm sure we probably cared a lot about them too. We were invested. We probably didn't want our whatever favorite to go home that week or whatever. We're probably mad and upset. But I mean, do you really care about those lip syncs at this point? Does it matter to you that Max went home to Jaden Dior Fierce in season 7? Does that matter to you now? Do you even care? Probably not. So my thing is, why do we make this such a big deal when in the end, the queens don't even care? They're friends. All the queens are friends. We saw Aja and Nina, or I was with Aja and Nina at DragCon, and they were kikiing with each other. If they don't hate each other, why are you pressed? Why? And then they make it so, they make it bad, or they give people a bad name, because people who want to just love the show and be supportive of the people who compete on the show, they're ruined because you got people that's over here threatening, giving out these horrible remarks, being negative, as if the person that you like wins is going to share the $100,000 with you, and they're not. They don't even know who you are most of the time. And I'm sure that most of these people don't even go out to see their favorite queen when they come to the club, can't afford to go in, or aren't old enough to go in. So, chill out. It's just a show. Relax. If your fave goes home, buy their merchandise. Support them. Follow them. Book them at your local club. And get your judge. That's all I had to say. Sorry I had to go on that rant, but that really just pissed me off secretly because, as y'all know, I got my shirts. I'm still Team Nina Bonina Brown. So shout out to you, boo, if you watch the show. But I didn't like, and it's not just because it's Nina. Like if it was anybody else and the other person, like for example, for last week, if people were going on Peppermint's page, talking about how Cynthia should have won that lip sync and this, that, and the fourth, that still would have been out of line. Just the fact that if y'all have a problem with how lip sync turned out, y'all need to go and speak to Rupaul, okay? Because only he's the one that making those decisions on who goes home and who doesn't. So don't come to Nina because Aja got eliminated. If Aja didn't want to get eliminated, she would have done better in the challenge. So I'm going to leave y'all with that because I don't want to sit here on this thing for too long. Leave your comments below. Make sure you don't try it because you will get blocked. And I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.